Good morning. It is 6:35 a.m. on Monday, May 11th, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. Camera is tilted a little bit today. Rocket is chiller than average this morning. He's down there chewing on a little rawhide thing. Um, teething continues, and something that his vet warned me about seems to have developed, which is that one of his new canine teeth has not pushed out the old one, but rather just is coming up like to the side of it, and so it's just like the two of them next to each other. So I might need to have that one removed. Um, but I'll call the vet and ask about that. But we'll see. But I can imagine it's kind of uncomfortable because that really sharp little puppy canine is kind of being pushed out more towards the lips and gums, and I could imagine it being very easy for him to bite his own lip that way. Which, I'm not implying that that's not a problem. I guess I'm just saying, like, how would I know if that's a problem? He doesn't complain about that specifically, just about lots of things in general. I feel like it's very warm inside my apartment right now. I'm feeling just a little bit of like blah, sweaty. Need a shower. But I'm getting back to the routine of I need to go into the office this week. Um, so hopefully the stuff that I've got to do this week will go better than the ones last week. Remains to be seen. Probably won't find out today how that goes. I need a new camera stand. The one that I've got just doesn't hold it in position quite tight enough. Doesn't help that I'm constantly moving it around. Yeah. But in any event, it is what it is. I've still got the neighbor who's going to come and take Rocket out over lunch, which worked really well last time, and he's just been making further and further progress in terms of the housebreaking. I mean, been taking him out pretty regularly, and not as much trying to stretch the time in between, because accidents were happening when I did that. But eventually, the goal is that he doesn't have to go out 8 times per day. But yeah. Just finding things to chew on. Yeah, I'm definitely low energy this morning. I was kind of battling a migraine sort of off and on much of the weekend, where it would kind of be there for a little while and then I would rally and it would kind of come back, and definitely had it yesterday evening, and I feel like it's mostly gone now. But boy, this morning, like I went to bed early, and so I got a full 8 hours of sleep. But yeah, my body this morning was just like, at the same time that my brain was kind of, I woke up and, was aware of, well, yeah, it's morning, I should probably get up. But my body did not want to move. And I don't want to go so far as to call it something like sleep paralysis, because certainly there was no fear, and there was never, I think, a feeling that I couldn't move if I really wanted to, but there was definitely a feeling of my body is expressing a firm opinion that it doesn't want to move yet. And it was basically saying, brain, you can executive override if you want, but it's going to take that level of control, because we don't want to move. And, again, it's like, to imply that my brain and body are separate in that way. It's just, I guess what it is just like my awareness was saying, yeah, I should probably get up, but I literally do not even want to move. I don't want to even wiggle my toes. It feels there's a an entire is a much more inertia than usual. It's kind of what it felt like. And so what I can imagine is that sleep paralysis, what that tends to be is our bodies actually have a really remarkable process where when we sleep, our brain submits neurotransmitters that literally paralyze our bodies, our muscles, so that we don't like thrash around too much when we dream. And now obviously that doesn't always work, right? Like obviously sometimes there are disorders with that functionality, and that's where you get people who sleepwalk or sleep paralysis, where your brain starts to come awake, but those neurotransmitters have not been told to stop paralyzing you, and so you can't move. And so I get the sense that it wasn't any kind of a really disordered version of that, but it was just it was moving, it was going away slow. It had not really subsided yet. I think my, sleep rhythms might have been a little bit out of whack. Anyway, I've got to finish getting ready for work, and I don't really know what I'm talking about. I'm the worst kind of educated on this subject, which is interested and have read and half understood a little bit of stuff. So that is the perfect recipe for disaster with me, where I can talk about it like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't. Anyway, I will leave it there and talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.